Over the last few weeks, I've had the pleasure of working with Margo as she developed her speech for tonight. Even though our conversations were over the phone, I was struck by her amazing spirit. She has unwavering strength, zest for life, and kindness. Margo will take you through her inspirational metastatic breast cancer journey. Both fierce and resilient, she has refused to let her diagnosis get in the way of living a joyful life, and continues to be a vital member of the Women's Cancer Resource Center in Oakland, California. Please join me in welcoming Margo Salem.
Okay. Oh, great. He's got it on. Wonderful. Thank you. Right. I do want that. Thank you. Wonderful. Well, good evening, everyone. My goodness, what a tremendous day. I'd like to just take a moment to acknowledge and offer some deep appreciation and gratitude to our host, Avon-Pfizer. I would also like to take a moment to call out my cancer sisters. If you could raise your hands so I know who you are, everyone. Yeah. Okay, so we've got, all right. So I want us to know one another. I want us to take a very good look at one another and know that we will be available for each other as we do this journey. Truly. Because we're living in it. We are standing in the middle of it. And so before I get started with my remarks, I did want to offer this. These remarks, I hope that you will take them in the spirit in which they're given, and I do not wish to cause any offense. I'm a woman of God. I'm a woman of faith. Despite the fact that I have a mouth like a sailor, and so occasionally there might be an F-bomb, but I want you to know that I am working diligently to correct some of my puny sinner ways. So I am a woman of faith, and so I will be speaking about God throughout this journey. The second thing that I'd like to make you aware of is my usage of the word terminal. Some people don't like that word, and some people are offended by that word, and I understand that. And it is not my desire to offend anyone here. It is my desire for you all to understand that that is a word that I use because I need that to ground me in my reality. I am a woman who believes that language is so very, very important, and I believe in speaking positivity. And what I can tell you about having a terminal diagnosis, the blessing in this is that you don't take anything for granted. So I will be using that word. The last thing, as soon as I found out that I was terminal, I immediately started collecting death euphemisms. I am all in with taking the train to the coast, exit stage left, what a dirt nap, swimming with the fishes. So that could happen here as well. You could hear it. And again, I say this, to say, listen, I don't want to cause anyone any offense. So I hope that you'll receive these remarks, again, in the spirit in which they're given. I am Margo Salem. I am 51 years old, and I live in Oakland, California. And cancer came knocking, and I didn't quite know what to do. I'd like to read a quote for you from Kitchen Table Wisdom, which is just a wonderful book. If you haven't read it, I definitely recommend that you do. Her numbness was contagious. Sitting with her, I too felt a sense of heaviness and inertia, a lifelessness which made it hard to initiate a question or even to think. Ladies, I don't know if you've experienced that, but I have. And I have in those moments that I'm eating crackers at my house. because it is all I can do to simply continue to put one foot in front of the other. I was 49 years old, or just about to turn 49. 2 months before my 49th birthday, I got a call from the mammogram folks, and they said, well, you've got invasive lobular breast cancer. Okay, and what stage am I in? I immediately wanted to know the stage. Well, we can't determine that yet. So there's a series of events that you'll need to do. So December 1st, I was diagnosed, 2014. December 15th, they scooped out 8 centimeters worth of breast material and took my sentinel nodes. And then on December 19th, I got a phone call that basically said ostensibly you're cancer free. Woo woo, okay, yay, this is awesome. But because your tumor was 3 centimeters, you probably want to go through with chemotherapy. So as everybody in this room is familiar with chemotherapy, there are over 1,000 different types of chemotherapy drugs with myriad side effects, not the least of which they can blow out your kidneys, blow out your liver, just do things to, you can develop other cancers as a result of doing the chemo. So it was a very serious deal for me, very serious. I went in to see my oncologist, and I call him my oncologist because he's just that. He is an incredible healer. We talked about what I wanted to do, which was to stay healthy and give myself the best chance. Okay, let's send this tumor in and find out how aggressive it is. We've got all this research on non-aggressive and aggressive. Where did I fall? Yeah, in the middle. Where the studies are still going on. They'll finish next year. But because I was close to the aggressive side of the scale, I decided that it was best for me to go ahead and do this. And I said, hair, schmear, who cares? You know, it's no big deal. I had a righteous fro. I mean, it was a righteous fro. And I was all in. I mean, woo, hey, how you doing? I mean, I loved my hair. It gave me shiro girl power to the nth degree, and I loved it. And I happily, very callously said, no problem, hair schmear. 9 days later, when I wiped every strand of hair off of my head with a face cloth, it mattered. It mattered. But I was still in. I was still in. Funky side effects. I was still in. Didn't matter. It hurt, but it didn't matter. And the reason why it didn't matter is because what I actually do for a living, I'm a prospector. Now you might be thinking, oh, is she out there in the river with gold pans and all that? I tell you, that Margo, she's an interesting gal. No, ladies and gentlemen, I am a joy prospector. I don't miss an opportunity to look for, to find, to indulge and enjoy in joy. Tonight I'm inviting you to intimacy. Tonight I'm inviting you to truth-telling. In fact, I'm daring you. I dare you to become your own prospectors. Because as we clearly know, life is short. So I went through chemo. It was pretty miserable. I tried edibles, and I am officially the poster child. Nancy Reagan has gone on to the great sky and Ronnie. But I want you to know that I am the poster child for just say no. Because I'm the bad news bearers of edibles. Hey, Margo, what's going on there? Dude, I'm so high, I don't think Snoop Dogg has been this high. I was in pain. I had just come from chemotherapy. I was in so much pain. Even the tops of my ears hurt. How does that happen? Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what your ears do all day, but I'll tell you what, mine don't do too much. I mean, they, help me to keep the glasses up, but the top part, they're just chilling. How do the top of your ears hurt? Well, I'll tell you how, because cancer is a bully. And cancer will bite you wherever it feels like biting you. I thought, well, everybody's been raving about this edible business. I'd been off of sugar for 2 whole months, and that's saying a lot. I opened this package, and it was as if the heavens opened. Angels sang. It was buttery sugar goodness. And I said, okay, I'm going to do a quarter only. I did that, waited 30 minutes, nothing happened. Did another piece, waited an hour, nothing happened. Ended up eating the rest of the cookie, just waiting for something to happen. And then I said, well, hell, you're fat, sweetheart, so you should eat that cookie too. I'm sure it's longing for its companion, which it will find in your stomach, and this is clearly a bum batch. So I ate it. And that involved I was watching a documentary on Netflix. It's 12:30 in the morning. I have the Friday off. I always take the day after chemo off, I'm sitting there and I push my headphones up and I say, dude, you are high. What? You are high. This is not good. You need to lay down, because when in doubt, what I can tell you is true. A hot shower, a nap, and a cupcake will make it better. Okay, and if you're ever stumped in a test situation with multiple choice, you can always list that as, seriously, you can always list that as E, and you will get at least 1 point. True story. So, I ended up texting my sister after much, I'm very high. Okay, yeah, I'm high. All right, I sent a text saying, Sissy, I've eaten 2 pot cookies. I'm very high. And then the next text, which took me about 5 minutes or so to do, should I go to the emergency room? She's a nurse, labor and delivery, not oncology. My phone rings. What were you thinking? Sissy, I've been off of sugar for 2 months, and I'm fat, and I love it. It was angels saying, I'm high. I'm very high. Okay, she tells me to get milk. I try to pour the milk in. The milk is on the counter, and I'm like, Sissy, hold on. It's about to touch my computer. I have to lick it up. So there I am trying to lick the milk from the counter because I'm too high to navigate a sponge. And then I say, oh, look, some fell on my shirt. Just a moment, Sissy, I have to suck it out. So then and she's, okay, baby, I'm on my way. I am on my way. I stayed high until Sunday night, about 11:30 p.m. I got up to go to the bathroom and I said, hey, I'm not high anymore. Phew, rock on, that's good, because I got to go to work tomorrow. All right, yeah. In that moment, we're laughing about this because it is funny. And it's the type of thing where good girls who believe that they can do it all for themselves and for everyone in their life, we don't know how to ask for help because it's a matter of pride that we do it for ourselves and by ourselves. And so it was a humiliating moment. And cancer tried to humiliate me because that's what cancer likes to do. I am inviting you to intimacy. I am inviting you to truth-telling. In fact, I'm daring you to stand in your truth, even in the most ridiculous and humiliating situations with cancer. And the reason why it's so important that you are standing in your truth is because in those moments, you can find joy. You can find joy. And you can find a space where it makes enough space in your life to be able to wiggle room and have a laugh. Because cancer takes up the air that we breathe. It sucks the air from our lungs. It blinds us. And sometimes it is so damn overwhelming that we don't even know how we're going to take our next breath. But the fact that we can take a next breath is joy. And for me, is God. So I continued on with my journey. I did radiation, where I was told that I would be like, the side effects would be like a bad sunburn. Folks, I've had the true pleasure of being able to travel around this great big world of ours, and I have snorkeled at the Great Barrier Reef. I have snorkeled in Isla Mujeres. I have snorkeled all around the Hawaiian Islands. I am a water baby. I know what bad sunburn is. This wasn't it. I was blackened and cracked wide open and in so much pain. I didn't know how I was going to get from one moment to the next, but I dared myself. I invited myself to intimacy and truth-telling and said, Margo, talk about this with someone. Reach out to one of your cancer sisters and have a conversation. I dare you, because they get to help. That brings them joy. You get some relief, and that brings you joy. A few months later, 2 months later, I was thinking, I don't want to have anything to do with hospitals or doctors at this point. But it's time for me to get on tamoxifen. Around about that time, my lower back and my hips were really beginning to hurt. And the pain cocktail that they had created for me was no longer effective. So I called my oncologist. Hey, Dr. Pai, shouldn't I be starting tamoxifen soon? He said, I thought the radiation oncologist did it. Okay, no problem, I've got it. It'll be at the pharmacy by the time you get there. And I said, hey, and by the way, I'm hurting like I did when I had to give myself injections of Neupogen to keep my immune system up so I could go out and go to work every day, because God forbid I should be a slacker, because the good girl in all of us says that we have to do our part and we have to keep pushing. We have to keep moving, because if we don't, someone's going to judge us and find us wanting. God forbid. After a 2-week period of thinking that, man, I'm not even going to make it to my 50th birthday, and that sucks because I'm really excited about turning 50, I didn't tell my family about it. I ended up going into the hospital after having a sternal bone biopsy. Had some breathing issues, and I had a lot of pain that was uncontrolled. And what did I do? I called a taxi. I called a taxi to take me to the emergency room. I am inviting you to intimacy. I am inviting you to truth-telling, and I dare you to do the same. The same way I dare myself to stop being so doggone strong, to start utilizing the resources and the people in our lives who want us to be our best selves. Took a taxi to the emergency room. When I found out that they were going to keep me, that's when I called my siblings. Said, hey, look, I'm here and they're going to keep me. You should have called us. And in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, I should have called you. It's 9 o'clock at night. Everybody's got to go to work the next day, and I don't want to be a beast of burden. Because that, along with being a slacker, is just one of the worst damn things that you can be. And I didn't want anybody to say that about me. Nope. Not going to say that about Margo. Because I'm going to keep it pushing. I'm going to keep putting one foot in front of the other, even if I fall out. So my oncologist came into my room, my third day there as I was about to be released, and he looked so done in that I'd always heard the expression, the food turned to dust in my mouth. I thought it was hyperbole, and I thought, that sure, it did. The food in my mouth turned to dust. I literally felt like coughing it out. I did my best to swallow, and I patted the bed, and I said, you sit down here, Dr. Pai. You sit down here. And you go ahead and you tell me what it is you don't want to tell me. Well, Margo, right off the top of my head, unlike Carolyn, who had someone tell her, get your affairs in order, my doctor started off with, I've got 6 different ways of treating this in my head right now. At least 6. So we can figure this out. So we sat and talked for a little bit, and then he had to go on. I said, hey, I want you to go and deliver better news to your other patients, but dude, you can't leave me like this. I need to know what kind of party I'm having. Am I cashing out my assets and taking that trip around the world and visiting the places that I have not been, such as Machu Picchu? What kind of party am I having? And he comes back and he says, no, Margo, it's not that kind of party. You've got 4, maybe 5 years. I said, well, hot dog, woo. All right, I still got enough time to touch lives, to share my life, to stand up to cancer in whatever form that it tries to attack me in. And I am inviting you to intimacy, and I'm inviting you to truth-telling, and in fact, I'm daring you to. This is the one life that we get. And there are so many blessings, as crazy as it sounds. There are so many blessings in cancer and getting this diagnosis, not the least of which is the fact that I'm not waiting for that other shoe to drop. Baby, it already fell, and it was a pump, and it was bedazzled, and it was gorgeous. And now that's one less thing for me to worry about. One less thing for me to worry about, to try to figure out, and to try to figure it out on my own, because, hey, can't be a beast of burden. God forbid someone thinks you're a slacker. Palming off your responsibility for your emotional well-being on somebody else. Or you can turn that around and you can say that you are surrounded by a group of people who would love nothing better than to help you with that emotional responsibility. They can't walk in your shoes, they can't be you, but they can march alongside of you and make all of the difference in the world when you start telling the truth. For you providers, I'm inviting you all to intimacy and to truth-telling as well. Because this money that you get to create programs for people like myself and these other amazing women in this room, you need to know what it means to each of us to have access to this type of service, to have access to others who are facing the same thing. So you get to go back and you get to tell them, I saw the face of someone who is standing in the middle of cancer and saying no to that bully. Cancer is like, you remember when you were in the 5th grade and you were probably about this tall? But there was always that one kid who was up to here and looked like he'd been going to 5th grade for maybe 6 or 7 years. And that guy always waited for you outside the door. And he had his hand out. He was the bully demanding your lunch money. That's cancer. And cancer's so cold-blooded that stops by on the weekend to get that same amount of money. I'm not even at school, and you're at my fence with your hand. Great. Thanks. Appreciate that. I didn't know that there would come a time in my life where I felt as if the skills that I had so painstakingly acquired over the years would feel as if they would no longer serve me. When I got the news after I was so excited about living, woohoo, then that excitement started to wear off because, oh shit, I'm still dying. Oh, okay. I was overwhelmed that first month. And I likened it to being in the pool with children. And today they put that blue dye in the water. If the kid pees, that you gotta, So this was me. And the cancer was the blue pea water. Oh, okay. And I'm desperately trying to get to the side of the pool. And there were people who were willing to help me get to the side of the pool. But I didn't want to be intimate with them. I didn't want to tell the truth. So this journey for me has been about daring myself to tell the truth. To tell the truth, I had a wonderful experience on retreat with the Women's Cancer Resource Center. And one of the very first people that I spoke with was Carolyn Muhammad, who sat on the first panel. And she said, we're keeping it real here. And I said, oh, okay, well, all righty. I understand. I understand the power of telling the truth. I understand the power of standing up to the humiliation when you are in a meeting and suddenly this odor takes over the entire room and it is emanating from your own ass. And the people around you understand mostly. But they're not going through what you're going through. So then you have to perfect the butt clench walk. I just like that tonight for you all because I think it's really important. It's a great skill to have. And the secret to my success is look everybody in the eye. Butt clench, you're trying to do it normal-like, looking people in the eye as you're coming towards them because check this out, they're not going to look down. They don't even see you. Now the folks behind you, they're like, golly, that chick is strange. I tell you what, I don't even know what she's doing. But we laugh because that's funny. And it's painful as all hell when you are 4 blocks away from your home and you cough and diarrhea is running down your legs and into your shoes, and there is this incredible, bright, beautiful child coming along who sees you and then recoils in horror. Ew, Daddy, she smells. And her father comes and swoops her up and says, baby, she's probably sick and we need to help her. Well, I didn't plan on telling the truth and shitting on myself 4 blocks from my home, but the truth was told by my body because that is what cancer does. And we have the opportunity to either be embarrassed by it, allow it to humiliate us, or we get to stand up and say, this is what it is in this moment, and I can still have joy because this man recognized that something was wrong. That something was wrong and that I needed help, and he was willing to offer me help. And my shame kept me at a distance saying, "Thank you, that is so incredibly kind. I'm only a few blocks from home. My car is right here. No, I don't want to get the seat dirty. Ma'am, I can put newspapers in. It's okay. No, sir, I'm only 4 blocks away." So I walked on. I sloshed on. And as I'm approaching my building and I see neighbors coming in, I stop and I pretend to find something in my bag because I don't want to get too close because the smell is so strong. There's newspapers in the foyer. I take my shoes off and I'm wiping the crap off on the grass, and I grab that newspaper and I shuffle on in. I shuffle on in and I collapse because I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted beyond belief that cancer could treat me like this. When what the fuck did I ever do to cancer to take me down in such a mean and cruel way? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I invite you to intimacy. I invite you to truth-telling, and in fact, I dare you to say there was joy in that scenario. There was joy because there was someone there to witness and to offer help. I had not the courage to accept it, and I'm working on it. I'm working on it. And I won't let this disease make me small. I won't let this disease take a moment more because it's unworthy. It is utterly and completely unworthy. We are amazing. I saw something in there where a slide that a patient said, "I'm not a warrior. I'm not a this. I'm just someone living with cancer." I respect that. And I respectfully dare you to become warriors and to say no to this disease. To say no. You did not get to humiliate me. To say no. You don't get to steal my joy because I'm in the middle of my life and I have better things to do than to spend my time worrying about what if. Worrying about tomorrow and the meeting and the presentation and shitting on myself. Or mid-conversation with my boss and I start vomiting. "Oh, Margo, you've got something on your shirt." "Indeed I do. Please excuse me for a moment." I won't let cancer do that to me. And I am daring you to reach to your faith. It's God for me. I'm daring you, before you put the next foot on the train to the coast, to find your faith, wrap yourself in it, whatever it looks like, and know that you've made it thus far and you'll continue along the way. Shitty, vomiting, and everything in between. This is our life. We need to hold on to it. We need to honor it. So I dare you to go home and to remember that. When you try to sit up in the bed and your back is hurting so bad you think, I can't even do it. On those days when cancer steals your pony, what the hell? Who knew that cancer could steal your pony? I need my pony. Okay, I'm going to work today. I don't feel good. I've got to pony up. I got to pony up and just get this done. Cancer's so cold-blooded that cancer will say, "Is that your pony?" "Oh, okay." Okay. That's how cold-blooded cancer is. I've changed the locks on my barn so many times. I've told my pony, "Don't talk to strangers." And cancer is a stranger. I didn't know that cancer could take me down that badly, that I would not have the energy to actually want to go forward, to go farther in my life. I didn't know that cancer could do that. I didn't know. And when I found that out, I think that that was probably the scariest moment for me, that I was so precariously close to just saying, I've had enough of this. This is bullshit, and I am out of here. I am done. And it was because I decided to stand in the intimacy that I've been inviting people to share with me, because I decided to tell the truth. My sisters surrounded me. They surrounded me, and they held the cloth wide so I could just fall off the building. Okay, you're good, girl. We got you. That's enough. Let's go. I'm inviting each and every one of you. Each and every one of you. I am beseeching each and every one of you to make a decision today, right now in this moment, that as you go forward, you will recognize the gift. You will recognize the gift of life, the gift of each and every breath. And when cancer comes knocking, you tell it that Margo told you to tell it to kick rocks. I am joy. And I invite you to be as well. Thank you.